Had some kind of a phone problem, and it's always embarrassing when that happens. So today we wanted to make sure we got to speak to Killian and speak to him about his work. He's an award-winning illustrator. He's a press photographer. He's photographed events such as the Phoenix Fashion Week, the Comic-Con International, the Harlem Globetrotters, the Laughlin International Film Festival. He is a graphic designer, a videographer. He created for the Lucky Strike Bowling, Salute the Troops 5K, Java Magazine, and he's an associate director and the founder of Vision Images. He's got his plate full, in other words. He's one of the Illustrators of the Future quarterly award winners for Volume 32, which is coming out, I think, in a couple of months.
May.
Right, if I remember right. And so, once again, let's say good morning to Killian McKeown. And Killian, good morning. Thank you again for being on. And I'm so sorry what happened last time. Who knows? The phones go through computers nowadays, right?
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Good morning, guys, by the way.
And tell me
you guys
where
having a good morning?
Good. Where are you again?
I'm in downtown Phoenix.
Oh, that's right, Phoenix.
Arizona.
Yeah, yeah. How's the weather there today?
Actually, pretty nice. I'm actually, for some reason, my house is a dead zone for phone calls, so I'm actually taking a stroll in the park right now, so it's actually really nice.
Oh, so we don't get cut off again. Thank you. So you're going to Hollywood next month, is that right?
Yes, I'll be out there from the 5th through the 12th. They have us out there for a week. I know they're probably going to have a bunch of stuff that we're going to be doing. And then there's an award ceremony on the 10th.
Yeah, that's got to be exciting. So when we speak to the writers, we find out that when they don't quite win, they often will get some guidance from the judges and some critiques that are actually helpful, some constructive criticisms, in other words. Does that happen for the artists, the illustrators as well?
Yeah, I mean, every time I've submitted, I've always been encouraged to keep trying, to keep submitting. When I first, I've submitted, this is my third time's the charm, but I've been doing it over, I think like a 6-year span, and every time I submitted, they're like, just keep doing it again, like, because obviously, if you're an artist and you keep going out there and stuff, you're going to improve over time, and so
yeah.
I just kind of, like, every time I had something new to submit, thought it over, crossed my fingers. But yeah, the same thing. They encourage us to just keep submitting until we win, pretty much.
Right. So you use photography, and you somehow manipulate it with a computer to create these unique images.
Yeah, I have kind of like a multimedia kind of toolkit. I started in drawing as a kid. So I actually have a digital tablet that I use to, be able to pen or draw certain things in. But yes, I do also use my photography as well to, for instance, for some of my illustrations, I actually photograph people with, with much practical stuff I can add in there.
Right.
And then I'll go in Photoshop or pull different things from stock images and kind of combine and pretty much.
Do you know what I always wondered, like with Harry, I'm going to use Harry Potter as an example. Harry Potter was an example of a book that had a fictional character, that had an artist create an image of that fictional character, and later on when they made a movie, they found a guy who looked like him. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like anything else, like a movie or anything else you're doing, you go out and you kind of cast, you find the person that fits the character in mind, and then you adapt anything else that you need to with that world.
And the competition is so tough that you really have the skills that made you rise to the top, but I think it's more than the artwork. It has to be the personality of the artist as well.
Yeah, I think every artist and every piece that you do should have a little bit of a piece of your soul in it, a little piece of flavor for it.
So have you gone to any of these award ceremonies before, or will this be your first?
I actually have been a finalist since I've actually only submitted 3 times, and I've been a finalist 2 of the times. And I haven't had the opportunity to go out there and actually go to any of the ceremonies, so this will be my first time. I was invited one time before, but I wasn't able to get out there. But yeah, so it's definitely going to be exciting to be going to it this year.
How did you incorporate your talent for fashion designing in your illustrations? Do you have a line that is named after your illustrations?
Well, I kind of bounce back from doing, you know, like film and fashion and all that kind of stuff. So I know a lot of designers from, you know, I've done, you know, like you said earlier at the beginning, like, I've worked with Phoenix Fashion Week, and I have some local agencies that I work with a lot. So I just kind of reached out to them for the project, and you know, they have different designs they know of that they kind of fished around and found for me. So it's a little bit of just networking and fitting out what you want to do, and you'd be surprised how many people will come and be like, no, put my stuff in there, put my stuff and use it.
So how do you get the inspiration to create the pieces that you make?
Well, I mean, always if it's something I'm pulling from for the, you know, for an illustration for like this story, you know, I definitely get to know the material very well. If I can, I like to talk to the person who created it too.
Okay.
In a sense, the vibes going for. And then I kind of just, it's like my own imagination and everything else I can pull from inspiration from other sci-fis and other things that I've been inspired by.
So does the author of the piece that the illustration will accompany, does he or she work with you so that you can get something right? Like, let's say you create a lightsaber, and they go, no, my character has a real sword.
Right, exactly.
Do
you then have to change the art?
Yeah, sometimes, you know, as an illustrator, you will create something, and for concept art even, where you'll try something, and it doesn't always necessarily pan out to either what the other person thought or whatever, and sometimes you have to go back to the drawing board. I think that's just part of the process, you know, of developing it. You're like, maybe tweak this, or maybe we need to go back and rethink the concept or whatever. So, yeah, that does happen.
Last time we were doing the interview with you, Killian, we got to this point where we're taking the break, and then when we came back, you were gone. So let's hope that this time you're still with us when we come back. Am I saying your last name correctly first?
Full battery on the phone, so we should be
Okay. Killian McKeown. Am I saying McKeown right? Am I doing your last name?
McKeown, yeah.
McKeown, okay, not too far off. Okay, we'll be right back with Killian McKeown on the other side of the break. We'll take that break right now and be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Some sunshine this Thursday with a shower or thunderstorm in the area this afternoon, high 81 to 85. Thursday night will be mostly cloudy with a shower or thunderstorm, low 65 to 69. On Good Friday, clouds and breaks of sun with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm around, especially in the afternoon at the coast, the high 81 to 85. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 79 to 83. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lunder.
Whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now. 352-369-9101.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
WWWCA,
All right, 18 minutes after 11 o'clock. Nice looking day out there. Killian McKeown is on the phone, and he's at an exciting time in his life. And I was just reading some of his bio here, and I went to his website. Look at some of his artwork.
Fabulous stuff.
I mean, floating people, floating beautiful women. That's the best part. Floating beautiful women. Killian, you're still with us, I hope.
It is a good perk of the industry.
So let's see. You live in Phoenix. You're walking right now, right? You're taking a walk.
Yeah, I'm still taking a stroll through the park here.
So
I actually live right downtown, and I have a beautiful park right across the street from my house. So I get to enjoy that every day.
Do you have camaraderie with other illustrators? Do you feel like you're in competition with them, or is it friendly, healthy competition? What is the relationship between yourself and others who do what you do?
You know what? To be honest, like I have more probably relationships with photographers out here than I do illustrators. I feel like it's just a little bit different, just because I think most of the time I'm in my my room editing, that kind of thing. But I'm really excited to go out to the for the award ceremony and to be out there that whole week, because this will probably be the most time I will be around other illustrators and stuff. So that's kind of exciting for me, because I don't know about too many people out here in Phoenix that quite do kind of what I do in the illustration world too much. So
right.
I'm definitely to mix and mingle with some people out here, especially with all these award winners. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to.
Well, when you do your photography skills, do you frame the scene exactly the way you want it, or do you just kind of like snap away and then go home and then do edits or close-ups or things like that?
Illustration, I usually have a little bit more of a plan or concept, but I kind of I live in chaos theory. I sometimes you'd be surprised with, you just go out with a general plan and everything, but sometimes I'd like to just let be a collaborative artistic kind of thing, because I love it. That's why I love photography. That's why I like illustration, because sometimes it can be so natural and just unexpected. So it can be a mix of both.
Killian has been officially announced as a winner in the Illustrators of the Future contest, and one of the reasons I was asking him how he feels about other illustrators is a competitive feeling, is because I want to encourage illustrators from here to participate in this. This sounds like a wonderful opportunity to better yourself, to challenge yourself, and perhaps even to advance to a point where your work is published in a way that you never imagined. We know the folks over at the L. Ron Hubbard Awards, Rise of the Future, people, I never know what to say here.
Yeah.
The L. Ron Hubbard Presents Rise of the Future Volume 32 is what the book is called,
yes.
Right? So those guys, I mean, they put together such a wonderful opportunity for writers and illustrators. In this case, Killian is an illustrator, but it's free, and you learn from it, right? I mean, did you have to wait a long time before you got any feedback?
No. I mean, they're very on point with their communication. It never takes them more than at least a day to ever get back to me, if not earlier. And they've been very accommodating. Nothing but good things from the art director and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they've been very supportive on that end.
Being the illustrator winner, did you get to choose the short story of the writer that won, or did they get to choose your artwork?
That's a good question.
It was more it seemed like the art director and stuff, they tried to look at our style and I think match us up the best they could to what the story was. So they felt like I had I remember them saying I had more out of the other illustrators, had a little bit more women in my illustrations, so they wanted me to that was, I think, one of the reasons they said they wanted me to tackle the star tree illustration for the second portion of the competition.
So they wanted you.
I think
they wanted you to add some men.
Sorry.
Were they encouraging you to have more men in your imagery? Is that what you're saying?
No, they were saying like just because they felt like the femininity of my illustrations fit the story that they.
Oh, I got you. Okay. I was misunderstanding.
Were you able to read the story before you did the illustration for that story?
Yes, yeah. They gave us for the second phase. They gave us a short story with the probably I think mine was like 14 pages. So it wasn't a very long story, and they had us review it, and then they gave us a few days to kind of read it, download it, and then we had about 10 days to pop out 3 different thumbnails with 3 different scenes from the story. Then the art director, we would submit those. Art director would give us his feedback and, give us, hey, I think this would be the best one for you to do your final draft of. And then we had 20 days to knock out all that out. So that gave me, like a week to pretty much all lot models and get the designers to let me use their clothes and line that up, and then a week to edit it for me anyway. So
wow.
Do you know what? I'm going to be a psychic right now. I'm going to predict your future. Are you ready? You're going to be more involved in films. You're going to be the film director who does his own storyboards. Your storyboard's going to look better than anybody else's storyboard.
Yeah.
And I don't. Okay, I'm trying to see if I've read this somewhere. If I'm just. And I'm not a psychic. I'm just pretending that. But anyway, but I think you probably have music in you. I don't know. There's something about these images I'm looking at that makes me think you are somehow interested in like this grandiose music. Am I right?
Yeah, you're actually really on point with that. I think ever since like Lord of the Rings, I've been obsessed with. I think my favorite music's always been soundtracks over any other form of music. Yeah, actually, that's pretty on point.
video game soundtracks, right?
I like movies. I mean, games used to be game soundtracks. Early on used to kind of suck, but nowadays they have some really great.
Right.
I mostly if it's amazing orchestrated.
That's what yeah. Well, I am being psychic, aren't I? I mean, and I'm not really psychic, but I mean, just looking at the pictures, that's what I picture. I envision. Because I know you worked in film, so that if I say I'm psychic with that, I'm lying because I read that in your bio.
Yeah.
I have a great friend of mine who's an opera singer and a composer, and we've talked for years now about either doing music videos together or mix with that epic, grandiose theme that I have trying to express in my pictures.
Well, this is where I see you. This is where I see you in 5 years, 10 years, maybe. I'm sure you hope it happens sooner. This, I think, the fact that you are a winner in this contest will catapult you. I'm sure. Not just directly from the contest. I think just going to Hollywood is going to, how they say, network with people who are doing.
I've always loved movie posters and doing that kind of stuff too, and like I love the old school like Indiana Jones style, like they used to draw them and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm all inspired by that kind of stuff. So that's
what is
how
that?
I feel like one of concept art.
He's outside. Might be a bird.
Is that a bird?
Yeah, there's literally geese just flying over me.
Oh, geese.
Geese, that's cool.
Geese. Oh my
in
God.
California.
I thought you were being attacked.
Not a very common bird in Phoenix, but.
So how much could you win if you get first place? How much will you win? 5,000?
It's 5,000 for the grand prize. Yeah.
Wow. Well, good for you.
I found your story interesting about your dad. How you were just mesmerized because he was such a most wonderful photographer.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
I found your story about your dad most interesting because he was such a wonderful photographer. You wanted to pick up and keep his legacy alive.
Oh yeah, yes. I mean, before my dad, basically that's how I got into photography. Before that, I almost wanted to be an animator. I was drawing a lot and all that. But yes, when he did pass, like I was really the only one in my family that was kind of more inclined into the arts, and so I did pick that up, and that's kind of where I stepped off with photography, and film kind of rolled off shortly after. And oddly, my sister, she was in the National Guard, and she left her MacBook behind, and iMovie back in the day, the old version, and kind of all that kind of wrapped up at the same time. So I feel like I've always been a multimedia kind of person.
Wow. Well, this is my psychic prediction. Tell everybody I said you're going to be a huge success in film, music, movies, and of course illustration. Thank you so much, Killian, for being on the air. And again, I apologize the last time of the phone problems. You're welcome back anytime. Have fun in Hollywood, and good luck. I hope we get good news that you came out the winner. Before we say goodbye, we got to make sure we get the websites out there. WritersOfTheFuture.com if you want to check out how you can also enter either as a writer or an illustrator. And Killian, what is your website? I did go to it. What is it?
What is my what?
Your website?
You can find me on Facebook at Vision Images. You can also find me on the photography website called 500px/Killian McKeown. Just 500 and then px.com/Killian McKeown. And you can find a lot of my photography there and a lot of my illustration there.
All right. Let me spell your name for the listeners. It's Killian, M as in Mary, C, Keown as in Nancy. If you're looking up Killian. Again, congratulations on everything that you've achieved so far, and I know you're going to go really far with your talents.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the show again. I know weird circumstances cut our lines, but it turned out in the end.
Yeah, very good. And this interview will be up. I wish we had some artwork on here, but we didn't. It's just our dopey faces. So we'll take a little break and we'll be right back. Thank you, Killian.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. A possible turning point in the fight against ISIS troops in Syria.
We've learned that ISIS is about to lose a key piece of property in Palmyra in central Syria. The problem is that it is the Syrian government forces of President Bashar Assad, aided by Russian airstrikes, that has led to ISIS